something as I'm interviewing you, something that strikes me interesting because I'm not this way. I'm very high energy. I'm crazy. Like literally, I'll probably have like 100 businesses when this is over. I just love building businesses and hiring people and leading people. You're very cerebral, but I can tell there's a fire deep down inside. So do you show that a lot? Are you pretty disciplined in your daily routine? Do you get excited a lot, or are you kind of let your results? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be more like you, where I let my results speak for me instead of my mouth, which my mouth talks a lot, you know?
I think, and I hope I'm interpreting it right, because cerebral is not a word a lot of people use, and I'm not a walking dictionary, but I'm definitely more of a laid back person. I'm not like a super, I'm not going to be in your face, jumping and screaming. I'm not the biggest extrovert in the world. I'm definitely more introverted. Like, I know for sure I've been cooped up alone for 2.5 months, and I'm probably doing better than most people on my own. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with myself. I'm okay with who I am and what I think and do. I'm definitely actions speak louder than words. And yeah, you may jump and scream today, but we'll see what happens in 6-12 months or 6 and 12 years. Sure. I am trying to be more outspoken about things, I know and I know can help other people. Like I try very hard not to like step outside my lane. Like when, just even when we were talking about the Montgomery deals, I wasn't 100% comfortable talking about it because it's not my money. Like it wasn't my decision, but I was there so I can share a little bit. So I really try to just like stick to what I know. And, I'm still young too. I'm only 28. I've only been doing this 4 years, give or take. And the first 1.5 years, I probably sucked royally at my job. I know the first 6 months I definitely did. So, I try to just keep that in context, but yeah, I'm definitely not a, jump and shout in your face.
But you're comfortable with sucking because you know that you'll put in the work to get higher, right? And
I just know over time it's going to pay out.
1,000%. And like my mentor always says, my favorite line is make sure that your video matches your audio. And I mean, it's the truth. I mean, there are a lot of people out there doing deals that I know that are doing, $600 million a year and you've never even heard of them. Because they don't need to talk. And, for me, what I've done is as I've got older and worked on myself and done interesting, deep, nasty work. I was homeless. I had a drug addiction, alcoholism for 25 years. I've been sober for 1 year and 4 months.
Awesome.
Lost 50 pounds, all these things, right? I think you're of the same with me. There's limiting beliefs on your message. But then I think when you switch it and you say like, it's not about me, like I'm just trying to help like anybody. I think that the freedom of the art expression can, go a little, you can't control it. Like just let it be what it is. Right.
Yeah. I think what changed for me is I'd always thought about doing more and being out there more and in front of people and speaking for years, ever since I really got into it. And as social media kind of rose and podcasting rose and all that stuff, what held me back for a long time was it's like the imposter syndrome that a lot of people talk about. I still have it today. I feel like, why the hell does anybody even listen to me? I'm a 28-year-old kid that works a job basically. But I started realizing that what really started hitting me, my dad is very intelligent, picks things up quick, and is very good at researching and finding things out. And not to say that my mom wasn't, but he had not been involved in any of the real estate stuff. So he really had very little knowledge in how it worked. My mom had more knowledge, but the contrast that really hit me was when I was able to start having conversations with him and teaching him things. I was like, okay, like I have the ability to actually communicate and teach things to other people, even though I don't feel like I even fully know what I'm doing. And it was just that ability of like, yeah, maybe I'm at level 2 of 100 or 2 of 1,000, but there's somebody that's at level 1. Or if I'm at 5 of 10, there's somebody that's at level 3. And if I can help them get up to, my level, even though I've got so many more to go, that's worth it in my book. And, it's just going to help them along the way. The other part too, that, the other selfish aspect of it is you've got to know what the hell you're talking about to be able to teach other people. So it helps me shore up everything I know. And I have to do a lot of research and talking about things and making sure I understand. And it forces me to, I can get by and get deals done with like our debt guys and our insurance guys because they're going to do 90% of the work. But if somebody asks me a question, I've got to actually kind of understand more what's going on than what I necessarily need to be able to answer some of those questions. And I'm not always going to be able to answer those questions because, there's a limit on how much I need to know and want to know about the debt world and the insurance world and things of that nature. But it does make you kind of shore up some of those weaknesses in your foundation and those gaps in your knowledge and help you become better and more educated and things like that. So
1,000%. And it's when I got started in real estate, I thought I wanted like 2,000 single family houses. I was like, I'm going to be the biggest single family, like fuck all this shit. Like, And then I realized like, I don't want any of those things. I was doing that for somebody else, for my dad or whatever you want to call it. But what I did realize is what I do want to do is I want to show people there's another way. And meaning if that's 2 Airbnbs or that's, a 6 unit, right? That allows you to take that extra 2 vacations with your family. I think experiences over everything is my thing. Like I'm obsessed with traveling. We went to Europe for 8 weeks on a one-way ticket. Like it's just what I want. It's just what I want to do. Right. And so if you can give people that gift, right. And like, I know it's cliche. I don't give a shit because you're not allowed to work with me. You're not allowed to work for me. You're not allowed to anywhere with me in the investing world if you haven't read Rich Dad Poor Dad. And basically I got handed the book at 17 from a friend's dad. He said, "You're different. I can tell you hate school. Read this. It'll change your life." And it took me 7 years to implement it, but it did. And all that book is talking about is trading time for assets and liabilities. And basically you're showing them. So like what I'm realizing as I get deeper down the hole of my investing career is that I really don't want to do it. Like I really just want to give money to y'all or like Toro or like Evan or like my mentors and let me go coach. Like let me go impact people because I've had a lot of crazy stuff happen to me and I'm better for it. And it's really finding clarity on your message, right? And like, I think Chris is going to have multiple lifetimes, right? I think Chris is going to, you're only 28. I think, in 32, that's going to look different than it was now. But what I appreciate about you and I see from your content is that you're willing to put in the work. That's noted for sure. But also you're willing to not, I love the fact, and I could take a little bit from you, that you're not willing to speak on shit that you don't know about. Like, look, bro, I don't know it. Like, but if you want to talk about this, I can talk about this. And I think when you're authentic in your message, I think it comes across a lot more than just feeling like you have to be right all the time.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I don't know how people talk about things they don't know. I just don't understand it. Like, especially now with everybody's talking about coronavirus and not as much anymore because people are just sick of it. I'm very happy we haven't really talked about it much. But
I made people call it sunshine. I can't hear the fucking word anymore. I'm over it.
Yeah, but there's so many people just talking out their ass, and it's fun to do in like a private setting because it's like, oh, what do you think is going to happen? Well, I'm going to guess this because of this reason, and you do get something out of it because you try to extrapolate things and make guesses and see what happens, and you test theories and see what happens. That's how you learn. But so many people trying to say, this is what it is or this is what it's not or things like that. I'm just like, I just don't understand how you talk about things that you have no clue about. It's like the parent at a soccer game trying to tell their kid what to do. Like, just shut up. Let the coach do their thing. If the coach sucks, it's not like you're better than them. So, just deal with it. Like, that is funny. There's a really brilliant video of Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez, and they're at their kids' soccer game, and they're just chilling, like relaxed back so far. Now, look, their kids are probably coached by very, very prominent coaches, and they have no coaching experience. But it's just funny that those guys who probably know the game way better than any coach that's going to coach 6-year-olds, most likely, that they're just going to sit back and hang out and let their kids do their thing, and because they get it, right? They understand this isn't my role. I forget what it's called. It's like this the something Kruger effect. I saw it the other day. It's like,
I think I heard it too. Yeah.
it's like on the bottom axis. I always forget which one's axis, but the bottom axis is like knowledge and that you actually have. And the other one's like how much you posture or like how much you say, you know, and it's like the first like 10%, it's like people are super hot. Like when you know absolutely nothing, you don't talk about it. When you learn very little, you talk a ton. Then you fall very quickly and you like slowly raise, but you're like never as high as the person that knows next to nothing. And I thought that was very interesting.
I got to get that I got to put it on social media.
Yeah. But it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I just don't talk about things I don't know about. One, 'cause like, I don't want to look like a fool. And two, I don't want to steer somebody in the wrong direction either. Like I don't talk about debt that much because I don't really get it. Like I'm learning a ton about right now, or trying to, like the secondary debt world and how it affects how we get loans and what happens and things.
It's so funny that you say that. I worked for a private equity fund for a year and a half. I just got laid off like a month ago. It wasn't until I switched my learning I stopped learning about real estate and learned about money markets. It changed my whole life. Because when you understand how the money markets work, you can understand how debt, leverage, and how you can get a deal funded. It is amazing to know the inner workings of how we've got 16 units or 21 doors, 16 houses we're trying to sell right now. And we will sell in like a month to a hedge fund. Just to know how they approach a deal like that. And a regular investor doesn't understand how a hedge fund buys a portfolio because they're not looking at the numbers that you're looking at. So it's very interesting.